Noon, TikTok fam and devoted followers. This is Afternoon Shenanigans, Season 2, Episode 1. We're switching things up. We kinda lost one of our crew, but no worries, no harm, no foul. We good with this decision. We are very good with this decision. We have a whole new roundup. No more droopy whoopies. No more Debbie Downers. This is all about real talk, fun, and laughter. But we are gonna have real talk. So, if there's any, if there's any like trigger warnings, we will let you know in the bio before you hit play, always remember to hit the bio. So we are at season 2, episode 1. With me as always, my girl Jinxie Cat, Queen Jinxie. We got Tim over here right next to me, and of course, I'm your QueenReigns. What?
I said he can't copy me, I do it better.
You did the same thing?
Yeah.
So we got a couple of topics we're going to talk about today, one of which we're going to let Jinx kick off because it's a serious topic in regards to one of Trump's executive orders that a lot of people seem to have the ups and downs about. We have our own opinions about it, and we have our own explanations on why we have these opinions. So we're going to kick it off with Jinx taking the lead.
So I'm going to start off with PSA. Like, we're not bashing nobody. We're not being racist. Like, don't just think because we're light-complected individuals that is what our intended target is. We're speaking from witnessing personal things, going through personal things, and things that are touch close to home involving immigrant statuses. And that's not just the Hispanics. That's not just the Muslim community. That's not the Asian community. It's in a whole. And let's face it, as American people, we're all just kind of fucked because we can't get help. We have to fight tooth and nail, claw, bear, scream, cry, bleed, sacrifice our firstborn, whatever. But they come and it's like here, 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 here. And they're so ungrateful about it. So I think the reason Queen is having me take the reins today on doing this, and you like how I played that, Queen and Reigns. But I'm pumped. It's because here in Texas, where I live, we actually have a really large Muslim community, and we actually have one of the mosques that's home for like the refugee problems with Syria and all that. And I used to be armed overnight security guard, and I have firsthand witnessed the police department of San Antonio, Texas, SAPD. Hello. Did they make excuses for them? And it's like, well, in their country, this is legal. Well, I'm sorry, but the last I checked, this is motherfucking Texas and the goddamn United States of America.
Woohoo!
Like, hello. And that kind of gave me that disdain for people. And then getting stabbed in the intercostal space right here with a piece of rebar for telling.
Let me just interrupt you real quick. We just want to say though, we're not saying all of them are like this. We're saying the ones we have come in contact with are like this. Go ahead.
Right. That was my whole point of the PSA.
Yeah.
But when I was stabbed with a piece of rebar for telling them to get out of a dumpster, it was unsafe. Then, like I was telling Queen this morning, where I grew up in Edna just about 2 years ago at Christmas time, our little ass town has this big Christmas parade. The schools get involved, like the whole nine, right? Typical small town vibe. Well, there was a mom that had helped a drifter out. She had given him some clothes and stuff because he's homeless, and thought nothing of it. She left for work a few days later at like 5:30 in the morning to go work at the refinery. Was getting off early to go see her only child perform as a high school cheerleader for the first time in her first parade, and went home, put her makeup on, did her hair, changed her clothes, went to the parade, asked all her friends, like, hey, where's my daughter? And everyone's like, she never came to school today. So she rushes home, starts tearing the apartment up looking for her, and finds her daughter's body just in the tub, folded up. He literally waited until she left and he knew that she wasn't turning around to come back and did what he did. Now, granted, he's in charge of capital murder, but they're also planning on extraditing him. So, it
So he'll
is what it is.
probably
It's
get away
justice
with
is that.
that then.
Yes. So, like, where a lot of people are like, this is unfair, this is unfair. I totally get what you're saying, but take a second to put yourself in the shoes of an American tax-paying citizen. That's our money taking care of them, where we're penny pinching and stressing, like, how do we keep the roof over our head, the heat on, the lights on, the water on, and keep our kids healthy and fed? Because I'm sorry, but here in America right now, a two-income household isn't even enough. And there's a lot of people that stay in very bad relationships because you can't do it single income anymore. You can't. Like, the housing is ridiculous. You cannot get an apartment, even if you make enough money. You cannot get an apartment unless you make 3 times the rent.
Yes,
At
ma'am. That's the way it is
7.25
in.
an hour.
It's the way it is in
At
most decent
7.25 an
places in
hour.
Massachusetts here too.
At 7.25 an hour for the state minimum wage, you would have to work 60 hours a week to get checks that prove 3 times the income. And
Even
then for
then,
those of us that are disabled, SSI doesn't pay 3 times the income, and that's your only income because you can't work because you're disabled. So, like, where are we supposed to survive? But yet we can bring in, like, another influx we have here is Nigerian families. And I witnessed firsthand a group of Nigerian children trying to drown a kitten in a mud puddle. Well, the mom watched. And I'm not proud of this, but I am at the same token. I knocked a 14-year-old on his butt as hard as I could, like he was a grown man, and took that kitten away from him. Called the cops, told the cops what I did, and the cops' exact excuse was, well, in their country, that's normal. Again, we are not in their country. We are in the United States of America, where the American dream is a white picket fence and a happy, healthy family, and supposedly all this money we roll around in. I don't know where other countries think that we're just ballers here, but we're not. We're just like y'all. We may not be under dictatorships like y'all, but we have taxes. We have freaking extreme housing costs, extreme healthcare costs, extreme, day-to-day living expenses. We have no grand greener pasture that y'all think we have. Y'all just make it harder for the 170 billion of us that are here to survive or feel safe for that matter. Just like right now with Ohio, San Antonio, I think Massachusetts is one of them, the Venezuelan gang that came over and is taking over cities. What point as American people are we going to stop blaming, oh, president, 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 and start, hey, we need to clean up. We need to stop bitching about it and do something about it. And that's what Trump's doing. I'm not saying that I am a Trump supporter because I could care less about politics. I really could. I'm not a liberal. I'm not a Democrat. I don't care. I don't even vote. I've never voted. Never. So that's why I don't bitch about it. But at the same token, I try my best in my daily life to at least do one good deed for a random stranger a day, or do stupid TikTok to put a smile on someone's face, embarrass myself, make myself look like a jackass. I don't care. But
I
if
do
it
that.
saves one person, exactly. But if it saves one person that may be on their 13th reason why that day, you'd be surprised how much a fucking smile from a random stranger could make a difference.
Right
Just
on.
saying.
Yeah.
Right on.
So I will drop my case there because that was a lot to unload in one freaking topic. But,
Well, it's
I
like
really think
in
that people should open
Massachusetts.
mind approach.
In
What, please?
Massachusetts is one of the states suing the Trump administration in regards to this executive order, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But see, what Maura Healey, of all people, as a woman, As a fucking woman, Maura Healey, you of all people should know how bad the sex trafficking and human trafficking has gotten since you have allowed. There's a hotel on Miles Standish Boulevard in Taunton, for example. A lot of the Taunton residents and of the surrounding towns, like here in Bridgewater, we all know for a fact there are several people in there that have tried to kidnap children and women to hand over. They come here under the guise, not all of them. I am not saying all of them. I am saying there is a lot that are coming here under the guise of refugees that
with ill
are
intentions.
taking, with ill intent. They are taking these women. They are taking these children. They are meeting up with their handlers and handing these children and women over. You cannot go
They're
into
going to
fucking
Walmart.
Walmart without the doors being plastered with missing women and with missing children signs. That was
Not just
never
that.
here before.
Not just that.
Massachusetts,
They can't
we
go get
can barely afford to feed ourselves. And then we find out that they are getting more than us.
right.
They're getting drivers. They are here illegally without having green cards, as they call them. I don't know if there is another term for them. Call me stupid. I don't give a shit. I don't know if there is another term for it, but they come here and live rent free, housing cost free, free food giving to them in the SNAP program, plus $5,000
And they don't have to pay
per
auto
per
insurance.
a month per person. They do not have to pay housing costs. They do not have to pay food. They do not
They
have to
don't
pay
have to pay for their
utilities.
phones.
Hold on, I'm not done. They do not have to pay for any utilities, including cell phones. They got handed fucking used cars. And
Yes.
they were
No
given a driver's
insurance.
license, not knowing what the fuck they're doing. And trust me, honey, I am a masshole driver, and the aggravation and road rage just gets worse over the years in me because of this. And they
Exactly. And then,
and because of this, so many of them behave entitled, like they can do whatever the
yes,
fuck they want. They can
yes,
say whatever they want to you, but if you defend yourself, you're racist. No,
exactly.
that is
And
not
you can't
what
even,
racism is. Racism is when you judge people, you hurt people, whether physically or emotionally, without just cause. We are not being
right.
racist, people. We are
We're
discussing the
not.
people that have done this to us,
They
not
just
the
so happen
innocent.
to be in
I will
tax
say
people.
this. I will say this. I know you don't want me name dropping. But Teal was right about one thing. She knows a family that is a refugee. They turned down the food stamps. They turned down the money. They turned down the free income, the car, and the license. They turned down everything. They were grateful
Because they
to be
came here
here,
for
and
the
all they
American dream.
wanted, all they asked for when they got here was for their children to get an education. So what if it's free? And they wanted assistance getting full-time jobs legally. They wanted help to get their green card legally. Come on, people.
Exactly.
If you're going to come here as a refugee and this is that's all you ask for, honey, I will fucking help you with every last flesh on my bones.
And with
But
that
don't
said,
come
I'm
here
sorry that some
demanding
people,
a free ride. That's not okay. and then
And for those of y'all
hurt these
watching that
women,
might,
hurt these children. Just because it's okay to do it in the country you came from does not mean it's okay here. If you're going to be
right,
here, abide by our laws. Get your green card.
what time are we at?
Because now, after
What
having
is our
4
time?
years of being able to do that and not doing that, you are now officially out of time, and you want to blame our government? No, it is on you. And Maura Healey, shame on you. What the fuck is wrong with you, bitch?
What is our time at?
We're at 15:33. We'll be back with season 2, episode 1, part 2, right after this.